I'm Yota. I moved to Prince Rupert in May 2019. I like this small city, Prince Rupert, because the city is so beautiful, surrounded by beautiful temperate forest and beautiful ocean and beautiful blue sky. So even though it is rainy all year round, and there are so many paddlers, from stand-up paddlers, outrigger canoe paddlers, sea kayakers, and whitewater kayakers. I have been paddling for 15 years. I found that the Prince Rupert is paradise for me. I never forget the day when I paddled this wild thing, Butze Rapids. It was a life-changing experience. I paddled the wave called Cradled Love. I got stuck in the wave and I was tumbled 4 times like a washing machine. It was scary a bit, but at the same time, I fell in love with this Butze Rapids.
That was awesome.
So there are 4 whitewater kayakers in Prince Rupert. We come to paddle Butze Rapids quite often when the tidal exchange is really big, but most people don't know how unique the Butze Rapid is like this and how fun to paddle Butze Rapids. This is the story of Prince Rupert kayakers who have been cradled by this wild Butze Rapids. This is the middle channel wave. 2 hours and 2.5 hours rain on the low tide. The middle channel waves come up. And this is a really basic wave. You can surf really nicely. When it tides up, you can surf really big on there. It's really nice. I think it's too late, so we moved to Hawaii 5-0. The biggest wave, Hawaii 5-0. It's really big, it's really scary sometimes. When you catch it, it's so awesome.
So for how long have you been paddling?
About 10 years, but like on and off. Probably like a lot of kayaking the last 4 or 5 years, quite a bit.
And how did you discover this place?
Well, I moved here, and I grew up in Smithers, so I heard about Butze for a long time. And now I live here, so I come here quite often.
Only 4 people knowing this place?
Oh no, lots of people know about Butze.
Yeah?
Lots of people know about Butze, yeah. But there's like, yeah, only a couple of us in town that actually come here a lot.
And what's difficult about this rapid? Why is it so unique?
Well, there's a bunch of different waves. There's different channels with different waves. And they're bigger or smaller depending on the tides. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's a unique place to come.
Holy cow! What does attract you most? This Hawaii 5-0.
It can be big.
Big.
It can be super big. And it's so awesome when it's super big.
So how many times did you get really nice surf? One.
Well, like total ever? Lots.
Yeah, lots. Every time I come here, it's really scary.
Oh yeah?
Don't you get scared?
Oh yeah. I get scared, of course. It's scary, but it's super awesome too. Check out Cradled.
Yeah, shall we? How long have you paddled the Butze Rapids?
So I first started coming here in 2000,
Yeah.
and it's 2020. So I've been paddling at Butze for about 20 years.
So I think that you have paddled Butze Rapids more than anyone else.
Maybe.
Yeah, pretty much almost every day. I think when the tide is in. Right?
Betcha.
Yeah.
And, myself and some other friends, including Yoda, we figured out how to read the tides, and we can get waves as soon as we need them. So, yeah.
So what does motivate you to paddle Butze?
I I started out as a whitewater kayaker as a kid and did a lot of canoeing. And when I moved to Prince Rupert for a job when I was a bit younger, I came to Butze and I just fell in love with the place.
Wow.
Kind of rush of the salt water under your boat. And I really like the power of the water, especially salt water underneath my boat.
Yeah.
The exhilaration, it gets me supercharged.
Can you explain how unique this rapid is?
So these tidal rapids, along with one other one in British Columbia, are some of the most unique tidal rapids. About every 6 hours floods out and then comes back in to refuel. And when it does, it rolls over some of these rocks to create some of the most dynamic waves that I've ever seen.
We have 3 channels.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's your favorite one?
Well, my personal favorite's right here. We call it the Cradle of Love.
Yeah.
It's gone flat now, but we'll get you some more footage of when it's big. But as Yoda said, there's 3 channels. There's lots of dynamic waves that start out the tide, and then lots of waves that end the tide. Big ones, like 5-6 feet to like 1 to 2 footers. So
you are the master of the Cradle of Love.
The master of the cradle.
Yeah. When we get stuck in the wave, we say he or she is cradled. So how many times have you get cradled?
In 20 years, I've been cradled numerous times. What Yoda means is when you get flipped over, kind of like you're in a washing machine. And you just get thrown out of your boat sometimes. Jump up! Josh is swimming! And if you get thrown out of your boat here, you end up swimming like way over to the other side of the channel.
You okay?
It makes it really fun. Rescue team, man.
You have been doing many kinds of outdoor sports.
Yeah.
What does whitewater kayaking mean to you?
Yeah. Well, it's probably the most committing one of all those sports. When we start riding this crap, it's not like you can kind of go slow and learn, slowly. It's like you're going in. It's scary at first, but you just keep doing it. One day you'll survive, and eventually you last a few seconds on the wave, and then those moments are amazing. And then now it's getting better and better, and so it's just, I think it's the commitment of it. It was pretty scary at first. I was like so deep in the water, fell in my paddle, couldn't roll, I couldn't find it. Then you learn your roll. So my roll is really good because I've learned it, so I wanted to be good at it. So my roll is solid. But once you get your roll good, then the life is good, because you don't end up swimming all the time, and so you can kind of push a bit more, and then you just roll and roll and roll, and then.
Can you talk about how unique the Butze Rapids is?
So yeah, it's pretty unique. It's not a river, and it's what's unique about it. It's like we can do it year round. So when the skiing is shit in December, we can come here. When the kiting is shit in July, you can come here. Like you can come year round. You just have to dress up a bit better, and it's fun. I like it because the waves are changing all the time. I think that's really cool because waves are changing all the time. So you have all the taste, and you really get to learn all a bunch of different kind of way of doing things.
What is your goal in whitewater kayaking?
My goal? It's be good like you, Yota. Oh, my goal is, I don't really have a goal. My goal is, I achieved my goal this summer actually, because the last 2 summers I didn't have time to get better because I was kiting or skiing all the time. But this summer, because of the shitty wind situation, I was there a lot. So I think I achieved my goal, which is to be comfortable, man. That's just what I wanted, to be comfortable. And
do you have a message to your friends?
My message to everybody that lives on the North Coast is that this is the sport to do on the shitty summer like this summer, and we just come here and we have a hell of a time. We forget about the rain because we're in salt water over our head, So I think that's my advice. People don't depress about the weather, just adjust to it, and that's a great place to adjust, especially this summer. It's
sharing all of my whitewater experience with whitewater friends. That's the most important and the best thing in whitewater paddling.
Well, I'd say West Coast is the best coast, and come and join us at Butze because we got some great surfing here. Terrace guys, Northwest guys, all the way out to other parts of Canada, the world. Come out and join us. It's a wonderful place.